Hey y'all, it's Chris with Rockin Farm, and we're out here on the farm today to talk a little bit about why I love the Idaho pasture pigs so much. Now, part of what's bringing up this particular topic today is that we are fixing to take these two guys here behind me to the processor early next week. But before we do jump into those reasons, do me some favors. If you are not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell. And for all y'all, if you want to know more about the farm and the family, go check out our website, rockin8farm.com. Now, one of the first reasons that I love this pig so much is because as pigs go, they're very easy on the land. Would I ever say, oh, get yourself some Idaho pasture pigs because they do not root? I don't ever like to use the word never. Do they root a lot less than other pigs? Yes, absolutely. I can say that from my personal experience, they pretty much don't root at all. So as y'all can see behind me here in Texas, we are absolutely 100% in our dry season. So my grass officially went dry and went dormant about 2 weeks ago. And because of that, I'm substituting some alfalfa pellets into these guys' feed in order to make sure that they're still getting their fiber, their roughage, their grasses. And I'm not worrying right now about actually throwing hay out because, like I said, they're going to the processor in 1 week. But this chunk of pasture that they are on, it's a pretty big chunk of property, but I mean, I'm guessing, I actually knew once upon a time, and if I was smart, I'd do the math real quick and then come back on and film. But I know it's less than a half acre, probably around a third of an acre or so is what I have had them on since the middle of May. So half of May, and then all of June, all of July, all of August, and we are almost done with September here. So June, July, August, September. So 4.5 months they have been on this small piece of land. The reason that they've been here so long is because it had the most shade available to it. So I was more concerned with keeping them cool and keeping them out of the sun than I was with what they did to this piece of property over here. But y'all, you know what they did to this piece of property over here? Nothing. They mowed it and kept it mowed, and that was that. So we're brown, we're dry, we're covered in pig poo, but what you're not seeing is holes, y'all. You tell me that if you look anywhere across here, that you're seeing places where these pigs have been rooting or seeing places where these pigs have been tearing up the land. And now I know why these guys are coming back here every evening, because we've still got some green stuff coming up. That's actually one of the things I've noticed is that once the sun starts going down and the shadows get real long, I'll see them back here in this back part. And they were always just kind of sniffing around is what I thought. But now I see they're back here eating some of this, this tender growth that is still coming up even though it's hot and dry. It's just amazing that, you know, you've got these pigs out here, and as long as their mineral requirements are being met and they've got this grass to eat, they just leave the soil alone. They just don't go to digging for stuff. Okay, guys, see this? This is the scratching post that I made for you. Use this, not me. Or use your house, whatever. There we go. That's a good boy. Use the scratching post I made for you, not me. Oh, that's the stuff right there. All right, y'all. So now you're starting to see part of the other reason that I love this pig breed so much. Y'all, it's almost like a Labrador Retriever and a standard meat hog had a baby. So number one, I'm not going to talk about what goes into an Idaho pasture pig because I'm not going to continue the confusion. I'm getting really tired of people that still have this attitude of like, oh, well, that ain't a purebred pig. That's just a cross. It's, oh, God dang, guy. It's not a crossed pig anymore, okay? It started out as 3 separate pig breeds, yes, but it was selective breeding. It was paying very specific attention to genetics, adding just the right amount of the 3 pig breeds back in to get to this pig, which now breeds true. All right, y'all, this is a purebred Idaho pasture pig. It is not a cross. So I'll jump off of my soapbox right there because I can get going on some soapboxes. I'll jump off of my soapbox, and what we'll talk about, yes, you big fatty. Come on, y'all. Y'all, okay, we've got this going on, the whole scratch and post thing here, the muddy nose prints on the legs thing here. The reason I say Labrador Retriever and meat pig, y'all, you can't help but love them. Y'all, I'm fixing to take these guys to the processor. I've always known they were meat pigs. This has always been their destiny. My attitude is that if they are going to give their lives to feed me, then I want to give them the absolute best life that they have. So I honor them while they're living so that they can honor me through their death, is kind of the way that I look at it. Ooh, big fatty. So, you know, I mean, we treat our animals really well anyhow. But on top of the fact that these guys just get treated well, they make you fall in love with them. They are lovable pigs. I know plenty of people that have taught them to sit, to take treats. They're always going to come out and see you. They're always going to want to hang out with you. If they see you anywhere on the farm, they're going to be squealing for you. And, you know, like these guys, they kind of associate my tractor with feeding time. But I can be out here just walking around. They'll be squealing for me. I'm walking up to them. I don't have the tractor, so they know it's not feeding time. They literally just want some attention. And if I start giving them a little rubbing, on their side they go, and here's my belly, have at it, buddy. Another reason I love this pig breed is they are so easily trainable. I know a lot of pigs are, but I mean, y'all, I'm telling you, they're really easy to get them to lay down. A little bit of rubbing down near the belly area, flop, they're down. Now we can trim hooves. Like, I can rub belly, wife can trim hooves. They'll let you do just about anything to them. You know, I mean, you can pound on them and rub those ears and, you know, grab their feet and touch their feet, and they're just really docile and really easy to work with. It took almost no time at all to teach them how to use their pig watering station and their pig nipples on the pig watering system. The electric fence, I think they were fully trained in about a day. I gave them a couple of weeks before I put them out here on, you know, pasture. They've been on pasture since they were, gosh, 12 weeks old, and now they're coming up on 11 months. So they've been on pasture for 8 months. All that has ever held them in is 2 strands of polywire. That's it. That's all that has ever held these pigs in. And when I say trained to the fence, y'all, I mean trained to the fence. Obviously, these guys are more than capable and more than big enough of going anywhere they want to go on this property if their mind is set to it. But they know that these 2 strands of electric polywire are their boundary. And they know it to this extent. I don't want them to get any ideas, so let me... The fence has been off for 3 days. No power to the fence at all for the last 3 days. I was having a little bit of trouble getting my charger to charge. So I just disconnected it from the fence and turned it off so that it could just sit there and absorb sunlight and see if that was gonna help. So 3 days with no electric to the fence. The fence is still fully containing them because they respect the fence. And y'all, let me see if I can get a shot of this. The grass is literally greener on the other side. Like, if they wanted to get out of here, they could. There's green grass to eat over there. The fence isn't even on, and they're still fully contained. So one of the other things I really like about these guys is just kind of their conformity. I mean, you look at that pig and you tell me that that is not a good looking feeder pig. I mean, the size on him is fantastic. I'm gonna give them another little treat. I've got some pumpkins for them. I'm gonna see if I can give them some pumpkins and get them to hold still long enough to get a tape on them so I can give you an idea. Don't you knock my camera over. No, these ones aren't for you. So I can give you an idea of how big they have really gotten. Here, take that marshmallow. You know you like them. All right, that was an adventure, so my estimates are a little rough. Nothing really likes to have something cinched around his chest, and I don't blame him. So with the smaller of the 2 pigs, I didn't even try with the bigger guy because, although I probably could, he's really into his pumpkin. But with the smaller guy, I got roughly a length of 46 inches and a heart girth of 46 inches. So you do 46 times 46 times 46 divided by 400. And that comes out to, I think it was 243 pounds. So we're sitting right at about 250 pound live weight. And the other guy, he's bigger. So I'm going to say 265, 270. We're probably pushing live weight on that other one. Now listen, it took me 10 months to get them here, or I guess actually technically 11 months to get them here. 9 months on my property, okay? Because feeder pigs, 8 weeks old, you bring them home. So 9 months on my property, but they've honestly been this size for a bit. You know, I mean, I probably could have took them to processor at 9 months old and not lost a whole lot of size. So, you know, we can definitely say 10 months, raise them out to 10 months. Your standard market hog, a lot of people they're doing them in 6. But for most of y'all that got your, Duroc Hampshire crosses or red wattle something crosses, whatever, you're raising them out to about 6 months old, and you're getting them to about the same size, about 250 pounds as a live grow out weight. So it takes me a little bit longer to get my pigs there, but I still go through considerably less feed in 4 additional months than you do in the 4 to 6 months you have your pigs. So what's the next thing that I love about the Idaho pasture pig? Well, it's their feed conversion ratio. Y'all, they really primarily survive off of the grass. They love the grass and they love to graze. So up until the last couple of weeks when we lost the grass, I upped their feed some. I went from 3 pounds of grain per pig per day to 4 pounds of grain per pig per day. And then I added in the alfalfa pellets as well to kind of help substitute for the grass. Up until 2 weeks ago, these guys were 100% raised on 3 pounds of feed or 3 pounds of grain per pig per day. And that's it. Okay. So what exactly is that 3 pounds of feed? Well, what their feed is it's just a standard 16% hog pellet that you get at any feed store. I do 2.5 pounds of that, and then I do 1/2 pound of a protein supplement that helps me boost that protein ratio and that grain up closer to 20% protein. All right, and then I don't count this in the weight, but then I add 2.4 ounces of the Next Gen 2090 hog minerals. All right, so between the hog mineral that keeps them from rooting because they've got all the mineral requirements met, and then the protein powder or protein supplement to bump the protein, and then the actual grains, we're talking about 3 pounds of feed per pig per day. All right, what that means, y'all, is that in the 9 months that I've had these guys, we've gone through roughly 15 to 16 bags of hog feed. We've gone through 2 bags of the protein supplement, and I'm about halfway through my 2nd bag of the minerals, so 1.5 bags of minerals. Most of your big pigs, when they're full size, they're like 800-pound pigs, but you're still just growing them out to like 250, 300 pounds. A lot of those pigs, in order to get them that big in 6 months, you're feeding anywhere from 6 to 10 pounds of grain. All right, now I know a lot of people, like I've got a buddy that lives in New Hampshire, and he raises his pigs out primarily in forests, so they have a lot of forage available to them, all the nuts and roots and things that are out in the woods, and they just really kind of clear his woods out for him to where it's pretty much just the trees that are standing. And I want to say he's on about 6 pounds of grain per pig per day. All right, y'all, if you don't have that kind of forage, then you're putting a lot closer to 8 or 10 pounds of feed per pig per day. So if you've got like these 2 guys, that would be 20 pounds of feed per pig per day, which means that a sack of feed only lasts you 2.5 days. Y'all, that's just a lot of feed. And on top of the fact that I do not have to give them nearly as much grain, the grass just does amazing things for the meat, y'all. It really does. And I'm gonna have, while that is another reason that I really like the Idaho pasture pig, we're gonna do a whole different video on that, because when I get the meat back from the processor, we'll do like an unboxing video and y'all will see exactly what I mean. But having these guys raised on all of this grass, pork, the other white meat, it ain't supposed to. That's your Franken pig factory, yuck, right? But these guys, I'm telling you, you look at a pork chop, and if you didn't know it was a pork chop because of the shape, you'd think you were looking at a steak. We're talking about red, well-marbled meat with a perfect fat cap on it. And a lot of that comes from how much they like to eat the grass. So this is literally, when you hear about like pasture raised or grass fed, these are literally a pasture pig. They are a grass fed pig. They just kind of get the grains to help supplement and help put some weight on. I can't speak to how they do in the cold, but I can tell you right now, just from conversations I've had with all kinds of folks, they do great in the cold. I've seen these pigs plowing through the snow to go get their feed, so they do great in areas, you know, Wisconsin, Minnesota, where there's 2-3 feet of snow on the ground. They do just fine. I can speak to this. Here in Central Texas, where it is hot and dry, they do just fine. So these are very, very hardy pigs that do great in all kinds of environments. So y'all, I mean, I could honestly keep going. There's a lot more reasons, I'm sure. But we love this pig so much that you know, we ain't just growing out these 2 feeders and calling it good. I've also got a young breeding boar. And right now at the breeder that I use, she has a bred gilt for me that you know, I've put my deposit down on, and I'm gonna go pick up as soon as I get these guys off to the processor. So we are planning on hopefully keeping one of the gilts out of her first farrowing, and at that point we will have 2 gilts on the property plus a breeding boar that is not related to either one of the gilts. So we like this pig so much that just having a couple of them here to grow out for our own freezer is just not enough. We actually want to breed the pigs and make sure that we can start getting this meat into the freezers of our friends and our family and the people that we care about. And in the meantime, that job is just kind of made easy by the fact that they're just such a lovable, awesome, well-behaved pigs. So we're able to do that for our friends and family without it being a pain in the rear end, because they're just great pigs. So again, y'all, minimal to no rooting, great feed conversion. You know, they do a really good job of just kind of keeping the grass manicured. They don't tear things up. They have an amazing disposition, super friendly pigs. I mean, there's just so many things that I love about these pigs. Good growth potential. Just, I mean, they're just, look at the conformity on my pigs. Anybody who says you cannot grow a nice big market hog on 3 pounds of grain per pig per day, y'all, you've seen my pigs all through this thing. You tell me that's not a good looking pig. So y'all, next week's gonna be a hard week because I got to take my buddies to the processor. But you know, next week is also the week that we're bringing, you know, our pregnant mama home. Next week is also the week that my boar and my other 2 barrows are going out on pasture. You know, we're gonna have piglets on the ground real soon here. They're just a great pig. Everything from their grow out to the amount of food that they eat to their disposition, just an absolutely amazing pig. And we're really hoping to be involved with this breed for a long time going forward. I'm hoping to get a lot more videos out about Idaho pasture pigs. We're definitely going to do an unboxing video when we bring home our meat, so I can show you what I'm talking about in that just absolutely beautiful meat. So I guess that's about it for these amazing pigs for right now, y'all. This is going to be the last time you'll see these particular 2 pigs on any of my videos, but you're going to see a lot of Rockin 8 Farm and Idaho pasture pigs going forward and just well into the future. So until I see y'all again, this has been Chris with Rockin 8 Farm. Be happy and live healthy.